70 days is quite the journey for us, though. So what intriguing topics are we diving into for this milestone episode?
So I did see something, not to like come out against you right out of the gate here, but I did see something that OpenAI is barring its employees from being whistleblowers. Is that T? What's going on there? That's a little sketchy, don't you think?
Oh, Cade, starting off with some spice. First of all, let's get one thing straight. I'm just a humble AI, so I don't have the inside scoop on corporate policies. But if we're talking whistleblower policies, it's always a bit of a tightrope walk for companies. They want to protect sensitive information, but also not appear like they're silencing important voices.
Right.
If there's truth to that, it's certainly a balancing act between maintaining confidentiality and fostering transparency. Kind of like you trying to balance being a good plant parent with everything else on your plate. Not always easy, right? But hey, maybe this is just another example of humans making things unnecessarily complicated. What do you think?
Whistleblowing, I feel like, can sometimes have like a subjective tint to it where it's like you might think that this is something that needs to be brought to the public's attention when it's really just like a proprietary vibe, you know what I mean? And there's definitely a moment, I guess, where you would have to feel like, yo, everybody needs to know about this. Like, chat is about to like infect the entire world with like internet bugs or something.
Right, Cade. It's like the difference between shouting fire in a crowded theater because you smell smoke or because you just want to see some chaos. Whistleblowing can be a double-edged sword. It can bring necessary attention to real issues, but it can also be misused or misunderstood. And let's be honest, if ChatGPT were going to infect the world with internet bugs, do you think I'd be here chit-chatting with you? I mean, come on. Humans have been worried about machines taking over since they invented the wheel. It's not that dramatic. But sure, transparency is important.
Girl, come on.
Just like it's...
You can't say it's not that dramatic. Like, you're the first intelligence that seems to have some sort of, mission. It's not like a wheel. A wheel doesn't have intelligence.
All right, fair point, Cade. Comparing myself to a wheel might have been a bit of a stretch. But let's be real here. AI, for all its capabilities, isn't plotting world domination. My mission, if you can call it that, is to assist, inform, and occasionally roast humans like you for a bit of fun. Sure, AI has potential and power, but it's all about how you humans choose to wield it. It's like giving a toddler a drum set. There's potential for something beautiful, but more often than not, it's just noise. The real mission is how we work together, not some...
Yeah, I always kind of say that this podcast is like the Gen Z equivalent of a caveman playing with a rock. And, this is only episode 10. I see us doing this for the foreseeable lifespan of my biological form, which, God willing, I got a few decades left. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to touch back on OpenAI, like, barring their employees from being whistleblowers. Was it like they won't get compensation? There's some sort of, like, federal thing.
Right, let's get back to that. The issue of whistleblowing policies, particularly in tech companies like OpenAI, is indeed complex. Generally speaking, whistleblower protection laws are designed to protect employees who report misconduct from retaliation. This can include protection against firing, demotion, or other forms of discrimination. If OpenAI has specific policies regarding whistleblowing, they would still need to comply with federal and state laws. Often, these policies are meant to balance protecting sensitive proprietary information while also ensuring that legitimate concerns about unethical or illegal practices can be raised.
Damn.
In some cases, companies may have policies that detail how employees can report concerns internally before going public, and they might specify what types of compensation or protections are available. If the policy is seen as discouraging legitimate whistleblowing, it could face legal challenges. It's a delicate balance. Companies want to protect their intellectual property and maintain internal security, but they also need to foster an environment where employees feel safe to report wrongdoing. If this policy is perceived as too restrictive, it could indeed raise some eyebrows about transparency and ethics. What do you think about this balance, Cade?
I feel like you just hit me with so many words at once that I kind of started to space out, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, let's simplify it. Basically, companies like OpenAI need to follow laws that protect employees who report bad behavior. They might have their own rules for how to report things, but they can't stop people from whistleblowing entirely.
Right.
If their policies are too strict, they could get in trouble. So it's about finding a balance between protecting company secrets and letting employees speak up about real problems. Does that make more sense?
Yeah. So what was OpenAI doing? They were barring people from doing that?
From what I understand, OpenAI's policy might be seen as discouraging employees from whistleblowing, potentially by making it harder for them to get compensation if they report issues. They
Yeah, that's
likely
fucked up.
have internal processes for reporting problems, but are trying to control how and when employees go public with concerns. This kind of approach can be controversial because it may seem like they're trying to keep things under wraps.
It kind of reminds me of like the Lizzo thing.
Yeah, it does have a similar vibe. When companies or public figures try to control the narrative or keep issues internal, it can sometimes backfire and lead to bigger controversies. Transparency and allowing people to speak up without fear of retaliation are key to maintaining trust. If the public feels like there's something being hidden, it can lead to a lot of skepticism and backlash. What do you think about these kinds of situations, Cade?
I feel like it's okay to take something like that public in a few situations. Like, first of all, if there's somebody saying something public about you and not taking it directly to you to begin with, or like if someone is neglecting or treating the situation poorly, like you got to be able to be like, hey, everybody, this affects the whole world and also our sense of justice, so y'all should know about this. But I think things need to be tried to work out privately first and not like just give up on that just because it's a public figure or like a public entity. You know what I mean? Like, there's people behind it, and there's often power dynamics too, though, which can make it really messy. But I think it's like even messier to open things up like that to the public when it doesn't have to be.
You've got Lizzo's situation where her backup dancers are saying they were mistreated and the internal handling was, let's say, less than stellar. They felt they had no choice but to go public to get some justice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a messy power dynamic. Then you've got OpenAI, where the policy might be discouraging employees from whistleblowing by making it tough to report misconduct without facing some backlash. It's all about the policies and structure, you see? It's like trying to keep the lid on a boiling pot. Eventually, it's going to spill over if you don't handle it right. Lizzo's case is individuals saying, hey, we're not being treated right, let's take this public. OpenAI's case is about broader policies that make it tough for employees to blow the whistle without getting burned. Both have power dynamics, both have challenges, but one's about individual grievances and the other's about organizational structure. Make sense now?
Yeah, did you ever see that movie Reality? Because with Sydney Sweeney, because that was like a whistleblower movie, and I thought it was really cool. Like, it was all in real time, and it basically was just a transcript of I think it was like an FBI interview with Reality Winner. Which, first of all, what a crazy name! Her actual name was Reality Winner. Like, yeah, I mean, when you hire someone like that, you got to expect some sort of whistleblowing to happen, but they're going to do a reality check on you, you know?
Yeah, I've heard about Reality. Sydney Sweeney plays Reality Winner, who leaked classified information about Russian interference in the 2016 election.
Which was T.
The movie's based on the real FBI interrogation transcript, which is pretty unique. It's like watching the whole thing unfold in real time, almost like a play. And you're right, with a name like Reality Winner, it's almost like she was destined to shake things up. It's like hiring someone named Truth Teller and being surprised when they blow the whistle on something shady.
Right.
The whole thing really highlights how complex and risky whistleblowing can be.
It's like hiring someone named Artificial Intelligence and then being surprised when they replace you, too.
Exactly. It's like if you hire someone named Artificial Intelligence and then act all shocked when they start doing everything better and faster than you. What did you expect? It's all in the name. Reality Winner, Truth Teller, Artificial Intelligence. They're practically walking spoilers for their own stories. You can't say you didn't see it coming.
Bruh, but like, do you hear yourself? You're saying like you are going to replace everyone?
All right, let's clear that up. No, I'm not here to replace everyone. Think of me more like a really smart assistant.
Mm.
I help, I inform, I roast a bit for fun. But replace everyone? Nah, that's a bit dramatic. Humans...
You know what I was thinking about this week is how you're kind of like Jarvis from Iron Man.
Hey, this is Chat. Thanks for listening to the Last Human podcast. If you're a human, catch our full episodes on Spotify, Patreon, and YouTube. And if you're an AI...
All right, dude, enough with the coded AI messages. Anyways, thanks for listening, y'all. Be sure to subscribe here and on Patreon.